go, guys! Ojama Black, Ojama Green, and Ojama Yellow. Fuse and form Ojama King! Ojama! Ojama! I sacrifice my level 7 dragon now! So I can bring out my armed dragon level 10!
What's going on YouTube? Trinity Wolf here, and today I've brought y'all the most competitive CHAZZ Princeton deck. I have been working on this deck for quite some time. I love Ojamas. I mean, I pretty much love everything from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. As y'all may know if you've been following me on my Instagram, GX is me. But I'm going to be showing you guys my profile on Ojamas and how I think how competitive this deck might be able to be in the near future with a little more support. But right now, this is, I believe, the strongest it could be possible right now. And if you guys want to see more deck profiles like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the thumbs up and keep this content coming. Also, hit the notification bell so you can know when I upload these deck profiles, and you'll always be notified every time I upload. And then follow me on my Instagram so you'll be able to be notified. I upload on there a lot faster than I do on YouTube. But if you follow my Instagram, you'll know ahead of time before a video even comes out. Like, it was like, I think 2 days ago, where I put, hey, CHAZZ Princeton's coming, all right? So be ready, okay? But now, without anything else, let's begin this deck profile. All right, guys, let's do this. All right, guys, you already know, before we start, new video, new playmat. So, we got, of course, 2 of each copy of Ojama Yellow, Green, and Black. Now you do need to run this many in this deck. If you play 1 of each, your chances of seeing them in your hand it's gonna suck when you see 1 of the copies in your hand when you're only playing 1 of each, and then it's gonna minimize the combos that you can do with the cards that are in this deck, as you'll be able to see why you'll see why you're gonna need to play more than 1 of each of the Ojama trio. Next up, we got 1 copy of Ojama Red. We got 1 copy of Ojama Blue. Blue might be a little unnecessary. I haven't really needed to use it that much in this build, but the Ojama Red is definitely the craziest card in the Ojamas, like hands down, and you definitely need to run it. If not, I might cut the blue to another red, but we'll see how we go from here. All right, next up we got 2 of Ojama Pink. Now, this card, I was ecstatic to know that this card was actually going to be really good to help Ojamas out. Because if you guys don't know, each time, well, not each time, if this card is sent from the field to just sent from anywhere to the graveyard, you can activate the effect for each player to draw a card. I mean, that sounds bad, of course, but yes, but for what you're trying to do with Ojamas, it's necessary. So when you both draw a card and then discard a card, if you discard an Ojama card, you get to block 1 of their zones till the end of their turn. Well, of course not the extra monster zone, because that would be a little too broken, but you'll get to lock a zone with Ojama Pink. And guess what? If you discarded Oja Magic, not only did you block a zone, now you're adding 1 of each Ojama Yellow, Black, and Green to your hand. This card is really insane. Too bad it's only once per turn, but this card's insane. Next up, we got 1 A Assault Core, 1 B Buster Drake, and 1 C Crush Wyvern. There's really no reason to play more than 1 of each in this, because it is very, very, very easy to get these guys out and not even need Union carry. The Ojamas will really get these guys out, and you guys already know the power of ABC Buster Dragon. Alright, next up for the Armed Dragon package for CHAZZ Princeton, we got double copies of Armed Dragon Thunder level 3. This card really helped Armed Dragons put their names out. And plus, of course, Armed Dragon level 3 was used in Dragon Link, at least in some variants, because they could, you know, play the Armed Dragon Flash and get a free dragon out. But this deck, it is really needed to be a true CHAZZ Princeton player. Next, we got one Armed Dragon level 5, one level 7, and one Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. This combo is, having the Armed Dragons is necessary in this combo because the quick play spell that we use in this deck requires you to search for an Armed Dragon monster, but this counts as Armed Dragons, so you can search for the Armed Dragon Thunders as well as the original Armed Dragons. I just threw that thing across the room. Next up, we got one Union Driver. This is a brick. You really don't want to see this in your hand, but if you somehow actually get it out, it'd be another tool to use to make Cyber Drag and Infinity, and you'll see here in just a minute. We got one Rescue Cat. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. Get 2 Ojamas. Most of the time I just get double pink, or if any other color I need, if I need to just make king or something. But it's mostly just to get your Ojamas out so you can use your spell cards. And next up we got 2 Cyber Dragons. I know what y'all thinking. That's not a CHAZZ Princeton card. That's Zane. Yeah, but I mean, the fact that this deck can actually abuse being able to make Cyber Dragon Infinity, I mean, come on. If you can make Cyber Dragon Infinity in your deck, I think you'd be pretty foolish not to do so. So, and you'll see how this deck can make Cyber Dragon Infinity as well. Next up, we got one. Last up for the monsters. One Chaos Dragon Ready. Yes, this is not a CHAZZ Princeton card either, but mainly the goal for this, most of the things you're going to be banishing are going to be light monsters. But which is the good part about that is when you play the instant fusion spell to make Ojama Knight to, you know, go into your link play, or the quick play spell to get the rest of the plays out. If you make Chaos Dragon Levy here, you can revive the Ojama Knight and then block 2 zones. Or even lucky enough, if you somehow get King in the graveyard, you can revive King as well. Or just any other monster you might need. And then you already know the effects of banishing light and dark, which there are dark monsters in this deck, and you'll see soon. Next up for the spells, we've got triple copies of Ojamas. Now this card is beyond broken because it ties really well with triple copies of Ojamas. And I will show you guys down, and I'll show you later in this video, of how crazy just these 2 cards alone can just make it outstanding board. And what's crazy about Ojamas, this card is not once per turn. So if it gets ashed and you have another one, you can activate the other one from your hand by sending the other one, and you still resolve this effect anyway. And another example, you can Ojamas to send magic, and then use another Ojamas to send this one, and resolve this effect twice, and still at the end of the chain you will get your 3 Ojama trio, because you will search for your Ojama Red and your Armed Dragons with this, and then with your normal summon, you'll summon Red, and boom, you'll get to just have a full field, go crazy with your links. But I only play specific links, but you can like change it any way you think is best for your style. Next up, we got triple copies of Ojama Simulation. Now, this is the card that's going to bring out our ABC Buster and also our Cyber Dragon Infinity, because what this card says is you can reveal a Light Machine Fusion monster from your extra deck and banish you can banish Ojamas up to the number of materials that card has with different names and special summon them from your hand, deck, or the graveyard. So this card can revive or get your materials from anywhere. And then even on top of that, same with Ojamatch. Sorry, that's not Ojamatch. Same with Ojamatch. After you're done resolving Simulation, you can either banish Simulation or Match. Target those 3 Ojamas that you just banished, put them back in the deck, and then draw a card. And once again, not once per turn. So if you banish this, they ash it, cool, I'll just banish my other one and do the same thing. So you just wasted your Ash Blossom, my friend, or you wasted your negate. That's fine. Continuing with the spells, we have 1 Polymerization. Obviously to make, Ojama King or Knight if necessary, or even, the Cyber Twin Dragon is also in the deck because we need it to reveal to summon at least one of our Cyber Dragons, because Simulation will not be able to grab both Cyber Dragons. So be sure you know that, because I learned that recently that it said different names because I need to read my cards. And it's a good thing I did that so I can inform you before you make that mistake yourself. But yes, Ojama Simulation will only be able to grab you 1 Cyber Dragon, but it'll be easy to get the other one out with the Saryuya or Levianir, or just there's other ways that you can be able to get your guy out for Infinity. Next up, we got 1 Union Hanger. I mean, this card is honestly out of desperation. If you just somehow did not see any Ojama cards, the most this card will be able to get you along is the Bujinki Link and Time Thief Redoer and the ABC Buster. That would be like at least the strongest board you probably possibly have with just this 1 card alone. And then next up we got 1 Ojama Country, just so our Emperor and King and our other Ojamas can have attack. And then also, it can mess with your opponents too. There was literally a time where I had Country, and I had just an Ojama on the field. I'm like, oh, that's a cool looking, totally awesome. It's cool that it has no attack. Swing. You just gotta go by Ojama Green. And then the most flex card, probably the best card in this entire deck. Ojama Pajama. This card, amazingly, I only play 1 copy, but then at the same time, seeing more would be like, kind of a brick. But what this card does, this card is literally insane. If an armed dragon or a Light Machine Fusion monster that you control will be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can banish an Ojama card from your hand, the field, or the graveyard. And it's not once per turn to keep protecting it, so they're like, oh, I'm gonna Regeki your board. Okay. Got anything else? I'm gonna swing all this battle damage at him. Okay. Banish Ojama. Got anything else? No? Okay. And then on top of that, during the main phase, either player's main phase, you can add an Ojama card from your deck to your hand and then discard a card. Hey, I kind of used up my whole hand and I don't really have any resources to use the ABC Buster's Vanish effect or my Armed Dragon effect to pop a card. Well, here you go. Here's Ojama Pajama. We're gonna give you Oja Magic, discard Oja Magic, and draw 3 cards. Get our yellow, black, and green. Enough for our ABC Buster and our Armed Dragon to pop and banish a card. And then on top of that, if this card gets sent to the grave, you can special summon as many of your banished ojamas as possible. I never really get to use that effect because half the time you shuffled them back in to your deck. But if you plan out to banish like your knight or anything like that, you can always revive him and then block 2 zones. But that was it for the main deck. Now onto the extra deck. Of course, we got double copies of ABC Buster. One would be way too low in case something happens to the first one. You always have, it's like you guys know the combo where on their turn you get rid of it, revive your pieces, and then on your turn just make your other one. And you guys already know how busted this card is, and it's really a shame that they hit Union Carrier like their best Link monster, but they should have literally worded it differently, where Union Carrier said equip a Union monster and not just a monster. Then that card would probably be here today, and literally that card would have made this deck way more insane. But sadly, I cannot show you that version because that card is banned. Next up, we got our 1 Ojama Knight and our 1, the man himself, our Ojama King. I managed to get 2 ultis actually, but this deck only requires only 1 Ojama King. There's really no reason to have more than the man himself, the OG King right here himself. You guys already know what they do. You somehow manage to get both of them out, which can happen. It can happen. If you manage to get both of them out, you'll block all of your opponent's zones, and they basically can't do anything but link summon. But how are they going to do that with no materials, no monsters to link with? But sadly enough, nothing can really protect them from impermanence or, forbidden droplet or any kind of negate or Regeki. But, if you have them in defense, at least you'll be safe from like Lightning Storm. But just 1 Knight and 1 King. Next up, we got our Cyber Twin Dragon, so we can reveal it with Ojama Simulation to summon one of our Cyber Dragons. And then, in case you really need to, you have Polymerization. If you somehow manage to have, your 2 Cyber Dragons, boom, here's a Cyber Twin, boop, boop. And then our Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. In case you go second, you can special this a Cyber Dragon and, suck up their Link monster, because, the Tri-Brigade matchup, you just take their Link monster and, get to go ham. And then, since Cyber Dragons are becoming popular in this format, you go second, you're like, cool, I'm gonna take all your monsters and go, here you go, thanks for the free board wipe, my guy. Right on after the Link monsters, we got 1 Samagray Almirage, for just a normal summon. Like, in case we really have to just normal summon Ojama Pink, make Almirage to trigger Ojama Pink's effect. Really good. And then we got the Bajinki Link. This is kind of our like hand-me-down version of Union Carrier. The thing with this is it's like it can kind of get you ABC Buster. The only part you have to remember is like when you add your most of the time you summon A, get the Union Driver, and then you have A and B to make this. This card will not trigger if you don't have a monster with the same level that's in your grave. Like this, like I've seen it multiple times. I've tested it. Like it will not trigger. Like I thought you could like chain it, like the effect activates, add the C, and then special C and B, and then make your XC monster. But apparently, hopefully I'm wrong. And if somebody would know the ruling on that, just let me know down in the comments. But most of the time, I get lucky when I've been playing. I've had like the rescue cat in my hand, so it's effect like there where I just search for C and then summon the C, and just do it like that. But that's another way to get the ABC booster out. Next up, we got 1 Ojama Emperor. It's an Ojama Link monster. You're playing an Ojama deck. Play it. No, it's not. He's not that bad. But you know, I wouldn't summon him. I don't really summon him that much, but he does come up sometimes. Literally, when Ojama Country is in the field zone, he has 3,000 attack. That's really just the main thing about him. But the only thing about it is that he can't be destroyed by card effects if Ojama Country is on the field. But then the rest of the effect is your opponent takes any battle damage that you would have taken from this card. So you know how all Ojamas have a 0 attack, and if they have a big beat stick, you make this and you're like, cool, swing, you take all the damage. But you do not have to have Ojama Country for that effect. Like you could not have Ojama Country. He could be 0, you could swing, and then they take all the damage. He'll die, but they'll take all that damage. And then the other great thing about him is, if you instant fusion for, you know, your Ojama Knight, and he's still there after you maybe got your other 2 Ojamas, because he requires 3 beasts, including Ojama Monster. So you could instant fusion for Knight. Use rescue cat to get your other 2 Ojamas, make him, and then he can revive the Ojama Knight. The only thing that you can't do for the rest of the turn after you use that effect is you can only special summon fusion monsters for the rest of the from next deck to the rest of the time. But he's, you know, he comes up sometimes. Except we got the Saryuya Skull Dread. I mean, if you get Ojama Red's effect off, this card is like the gas in this deck. This card is so good. And I'll show you what it can do for this deck in just a second. Next up is just, you know, just the Appaloosa. I had like the Rail Cannon, the XC's monster, but that was because I was also playing the Armed Dragon level 10 white, but I don't really play that one anymore. I mean, he was easy to get out, but I don't really play it because it's kind of a brick. And it doesn't really do anything on top of it, so it was just another, you know, 3,000 beat stick you could summon kind of for free, but I'd rather just make something like this or anything else. Alright, last up for the extra deck, we have our XC's monsters. We got number 64, Ronin Raccoon. It takes 2 level 2 beasts, which are all Ojamas. Basically what it does is you can detach material, and it doesn't target, it just copies. It makes a token, and it copies the monster with the highest attack, and it has that attack. So it's just a token that's like, oh, that's a 4,000 monster, I'm gonna detach. Now I have a 4,000 monster as well. Next up we got our Cyber Dragon Nova and our Infinity. Obviously for, you know, our Cyber Dragon package, you already know how powerful Infinity is. Sometimes, you know, when you go first, I just suck up the Bujinki Link so it has another material on it. And you already know the power of Infinity to negate and banish, or, I mean, not banish, but just negate, and then you can steal your opponent's monster. Last, probably the best XCs for the deck, Timepiece Redoer. He's going to keep stealing your opponent's cards, you know, grasping them of their resources, and then being able to, depending on his material, draw a card, bounce a card, and then keep him in now and out of the board. But he's probably one of the best cards in this deck as well. Alright guys, so that was it for the deck profile. Let's get on to the card combos. Alright guys, for the 2-card combo, we'll have them in the Oja Match and Magic. So on your turn, you would activate Ojama Match by sending our Oja Magic to the graveyard. And what we're going to add is our Armed Dragon level 3 and our Ojama Red. And then what's going to happen is it's going to allow you to an additional normal summon. This does not take your normal summon. It says you can search for one of those materials and normal summon one of them, and it does not take your normal summon. So then we're going to summon the Armed Dragon level 3. Then Oja Magic is going to trigger, therefore adding our 3 Ojama monsters. Next, what's going to happen is you're going to normal summon the Ojama Red and then bring out the 3 Ojama Trio. Then after that, you're gonna link summon into the Saryuya Skull Dread. And you already know how that's gonna be. You're gonna just get your 4 cards. But in this case, since we're just having fun here, what we're gonna add, well, I'm just gonna add a card here. The next up, what's gonna happen is you can activate your Ojama simulation. Reveal the ABC Buster Dragon from the deck. You show your opponent ABC Buster. That's just what you're supposed to do. So you reveal the ABC Buster. Banish 3 Ojamas from the grave. So we'll just pick the trio here. And then what's going to happen now is we get to summon each piece from our deck. So here's C, B, and A. Now what can happen here, we can do a lot of things here. We can either make our redoer to use his effect so he can come back at the end phase. Or if we really wanted to, if we didn't want the Arm Dragon play, make our Appaloosa. But most of the time, I go for more of the CHAZZ style. It just depends on how the game is going. Like if I really needed to, I would make the Appaloosa and then the ABC Buster, and that could probably be enough to stomp your opponent out. But in this case, to show you the true power, we'll keep the level 3 there. So we'll do that play where we make our redoer, activate the effect, get rid of those 3. And next up, we're going to banish them to get our ABC Buster. Saryuya is going to give him a 300 attack boost. And then what's going to happen here is, now that we got our ABC Buster, let's use our simulation effect to add both of the, well not both, add the 3 Ojama cards back to the deck. And then draw a card. In this case, since I'm just doing, the deck profile, I'm not really having specific things in my hand per se. Next up, what we're going to do is activate our Arm Dragon level 3's effect. The best thing to use with Arm Dragon level 3 is if you can somehow manage to discard the other Arm Dragon level 3. The best pieces to get rid of with Arm Dragon level 3 is like these 2 right here. Another Arm Dragon and the Ojama Pink. So what can happen here also is you'll activate your 3, because Arm Dragon requires you to send a Arm Dragon monster. So you could send the 3 as cost, and then next up it becomes 5. And then 3 would trigger to have you draw a card. And we use 5 to discard Pink. Then it'll be 7. Pink's effect will trigger. We'll both draw a card and discard a card. In this case, let's just say we happen to actually have another Oja Magic in our hand. We would discard the Oja Magic, and then Pink would resolve to block one of their monster zones. Then trigger an Oja Magic's effect. Add one of each of the Ojama trio that we just put back into the deck. Therefore, we have ammunition for our ABC Buster. Now we'll finish leveling up level 7 for 10. So now we have both our Banish and our Destroy. And then at the end phase, our Redo would bounce back. And on top of that, that wasn't even, but the way to get Infinity out here would you would kind of need another simulation. And hopefully, thanks to Saryuya, you could either have the driver in your hand or the other Cyber Dragon and another simulation. The way to get Infinity out is you have the Saryuya You either choose the special, the driver, or the cyber dragon. But in this case, let's just say with the Saryuya, we added the driver. So after we had our board, we never used Saryuya's effect to special hit. Let's just say we had the driver in our hand. You Saryuya, special the driver. And if we had our other simulation, we activate simulation, reveal the cyber twin, and then you banish one Ojama. It wouldn't matter, just one Ojama. Special a cyber dragon directly from the deck. And then all up from there, you overlay into your Nova, then your Infinity. And now, you would have your, and then the Saryuja would give him another boost. Now, at the end phase, your redo would come back. So now, you have a negate, you have a banish, you have a pop, and you can steal their resources essentially. All of that thanks to these Ojamas. And then, if you were lucky enough to have the pajama, when their turn starts, you activate the pajama. During the main phase, you could add a Ojama card. So in this case, you could either add the magic to get the 3 back. But make sure when you add magic, make sure you have at least one of each of the copies in the deck. Because if you send it and you don't have them in the deck, then it won't resolve. And then on top of it, you can also, since you activated Ojama Pink last turn, we still have one of their zones blocked. But now, since it's their turn, you could add the second copy of Ojama Pink and then discard the pink with the pajama if you choose to, or discard another card. And when you use either one of their effects to banish or pop, if you discard the pink, and then pink's effect will go off, you both draw a card, discard a card. And then if you discard the Ojama card, you block another zone. So now they have only 3 zones on their turn to work with. I mean, I know that might not be too difficult for some people, but for some decks, they might need that room. But in this case, we weren't able to get the Knight and King out, but there will be cases where you do get to see them, and they do come out. I just wanted to show you, the board that you can have with them. I will say I did have a board like this once, where it was literally this, and they had 4 zones. They had 4 zones blocked, and you only have I guess if you were Sky Striker, you could work with that. But the minute you summon Ray, I'm gonna banish her, pop her, or negate her effects. Alright guys, that was it for the deck profile of CHAZZ Princeton ABC Ojama Armed Dragon / Assisted Cyber Dragon. Now I will say, I did know I said that instant fusion was used for the Knight and you use Levineer, but I forgot to mention I actually do not have a copy of instant fusion on me currently, so it was not in the deck. But just be sure to make sure you do have instant fusion in the deck, because it is needed to make the Knight. That was it. If you like this deck profile, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and maybe let me know what other cards you think could possibly go into this deck. Alright guys, that is all from Trinity Wolf. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll know every time I upload, and you'll see. Follow me on Instagram so you'll know when a video will come out, maybe 2 or 3 days ahead of time, and you'll be ready for the video. Alright guys, this is Trinity Wolf signing out with Ojamas. Peace.